welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, you're most definitely welcome. Today, by the title you can tell, I'm about to talk to you guys about mistakes I made in 2020 and mistakes you should not be making in 2021. Okay, child? I don't know why I just said that. I will go and do my eyebrows and put on the base for my eyeshadow so that I don't take too much time doing that. I'll have a more in-depth skincare and no, not skincare. I'll have a more in-depth makeup routine and all that coming for you guys soon. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna go put on my eyebrows real quick and we will get straight into the video. So I'm going to give you guys like overview of all the things I learned and how you can apply them to yourself in 2021 to make sure that you do not make the same mistakes that I did. So my first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is like never take people for granted. Now, what I mean by this is a lot of times it's so easy to take people in your life for granted, like people that are close to you especially, because you just feel they've been there for the longest, you know, they'll be there, and you know it's not the case. I'm just saying that not necessarily because all the nice or all the valuable people or all the good people in your life are going to leave you or anything like that. I'm just saying that because it is absolutely essential to make sure that you appreciate the people in your life, right? And the thing is, the reason why this is also so important is because God puts people in your life for a reason. So you cannot take them for granted and expect that everything will be okay. Everybody's role in your life is specific, or at least I would hope so, right? So everyone's role in your life is specific, and so you should honor that, honor the fact that God has put them there for a reason. And so value them, you know, value them as people and value them as God's creation, not only just because you don't know what they'll help you with in the future, because that's a bit of a shallow way to think about it, but you just don't know what they are also going through. You just don't know what unsaid battles they are also going through. And I speak from experience because sometimes you don't even know that you're doing it. Like taking people for granted might be like not respecting their time. And personally, I learned the concept of respecting people's time in 2020, and it's something that I didn't have before. So like I'm just telling you guys just so that you do not make the same mistake as me, in case you are in the same boat of not understanding the concept of respecting people's time. Because especially in Nigeria, you know that people are very they don't really value people's time, in the sense that they don't mind being late to places, they don't mind not keeping their word about where they say they will be and all of those kinds of things. But those kinds of things actually do add up. And you know, some people would say, oh, it's not that deep and stuff like that, but it actually is that deep, because you know, the way that you respect people's time, the way that you are intentional or are not intentional about the way you speak to your loved ones, it says a lot about how you actually do feel about them without you even realizing. And I'm not saying this because I'm better or anything. I'm telling you guys that I learned this in 2020. Okay, so yeah, just be mindful of that. Yeah, that's my first thing. My second thing that I learned is in 2020 is that I need people. I don't know who else. I don't know if anyone else is like me here and they are very independent and just feel as though they would rather do life on their own, and you know, it's too stressful with other people. I definitely learned this in 2020. Like, you need people. In fact, the whole world, we all realized how much we need people. Like, the need to stay connected and all of that, especially with COVID and all of that stuff. You know, if you're like me or how I used to be, let me see how I used to be, please get rid of that mindset that you don't need people, because trust me, you do. Like, when you're in a tough situation, when you are in a bad place mentally, physically even, this life was not meant to be done alone. And you know, it's the same way Christianity was not meant to be done alone. And I can definitely see why that is, because trying to do life alone is actually the ghetto. Like, who is going to make you laugh? Who is going to give you a different perspective? Who is going to make you see the blind spots that you cannot see? Because nobody has it all, you know? Nobody actually has it all. So honestly, in this 2021, don't even try to think that you can do life alone, because you cannot. And even if you can, to be honest, you're not putting yourself in the best possible position to actually be successful in every sense of the word. Christians especially fall victim to this thing, oh, I just need God and myself. No, honey. No, you need people. Yeah, that is my second thing. My next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is that I learned is the need to be present, you guys. How many times in 2020 did we hear of somebody that just suddenly passed away and then started to think, oh my God, like I wish I was, or I mean, at least if you knew the person, how many times did you think like, wow, imagine their family members, you know, imagine if they knew that this person was going to pass away so soon, what do you think they would have done to actually soak in the moments more that they had with them? And that's when I started to think like, wow, I really need to be more present, because the truth is that like time waits for no one and no one knows when it'll be their time to go. And so that's why I've come to this realization that I need to be more present. And so being more present looks like when you're in like family settings or gatherings with your friends or people that you care about, make sure that you are concentrating on what people are saying. Make sure that you are listening to what they are saying, taking in every moment, not just being on your phone. And that's a note to myself. That's something I learned. Like I need to be present, because I actually don't know when it'll be time for us to like wrap up and go back to God. Like being present looks like not being on your phone when you're with your family and friends. And I know it sounds cliche, but you are taking away from the experience with people. You are taking away from the experience because your attention is divided. No matter how much you think you can multitask, your attention is actually divided. So, you know, listen to them, really, really listen, not listening to respond, but listen to take in what they're saying. And listening is a form of showing respect as well. So listen to what people say. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna clean off this eye because it's really, really annoying me now. Okay, guys, sorry about that break in transmission. I had to redo my eyes. I'm not even done yet, but I will just use this pink shadow right here as a base before I put like a pinky glitter. My third thing that I learned in 2020, a mistake you should not make in 2021, is that love that you are trying to give everyone. And I know this is particularly relevant just because towards the end of 2020, everybody and their mothers were getting engaged, and it was just like, guy, what's going on? Like, you know, are there even any more rings left in the wherever they buy rings, like and it was just like, oh my gosh, everyone's getting cuffed, everyone's getting married and all of that stuff. And I know that lots of people were joking and saying, you know, there's no up to 5 of us that are still single, blah 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 blah. And it was all funny, like to laugh at on Twitter and all that, but then really though, I know some people are really that actually butthurt about that. But then my own question to you is, that love that you want to give to someone else, are you giving it to yourself? Are you giving it to yourself? And what I mean by that is, are you actually loving yourself the way that you want to be loved by somebody else or your friends or your family? Are you giving yourself that same love? Because if not, it just begs the question of why. Why are you not giving yourself that same love that you want, that you want to receive? Is it because you do not understand that you can do that for yourself? Or, are you just looking where the grass seems greener? So yeah, one thing I would say in 2021 is don't look for love when you haven't found it in yourself yet. And if you are religious, in God, because truly, I realized that I have so many people in my life that I want to show love and I want to be there for, and I want to love with everything that I have. But then I realized in 2020 that I wasn't giving myself that same energy. I really wasn't. So when I realized this, I was like, like, how do I expect to give anyone else this kind of love if I can't even give it to myself, And for what that actually looks like, that looks like checking in with yourself. That looks like investing in yourself. That looks like getting therapy if you need to. That looks like pamper days. That looks like growing in your faith, and actually like making sure that you are okay. If you have fitness goals, making sure that you're trying to accomplish them, making sure that you are just actually doing all the things for yourself that you hope to receive from somebody one day. It's just so crazy because it comes so naturally. I actually think that society has a lot to do with this. Even from a young age, you see all these stories and talking about happily ever afters and all of that, and they always involve somebody else. They never really talk about what internal work is required first, because I'm not even talking about just like romantic relationships, I'm talking about friendships as well. You cannot give what you don't have. So if you're not constantly pouring into yourself, if you're not giving yourself the kind of love you want to receive, then like how on earth are you going to give that to somebody else? And even when you have the opportunity to give it to somebody else, it'll start to feel like you cannot be filled up, because you are expecting so much and putting so much pressure on somebody, when there are just certain things that a person cannot give to you unless you're giving it to yourself first. This is like for everybody. This is for single people, this is for people that are in relationships, that are married. Like literally, you can never stop, you can never pour into yourself too much, you know what I mean? Anyway, I rambled on a lot for that point. Moving swiftly on, the next thing I learned in 2020 is you are not what you produce, okay? And this culture has such a crazy way of making you believe that you are your productivity, your worth is found in your productivity, and it's just not the case. And I'm pretty sure that we all felt it last year, like feeling as though we couldn't do as much as we would normally, because we were not in the normal circumstances, we're not in conducive circumstances even to perform at our highest capacity. We're in a Panasonic. I mean, like, yeah, there were still times that I beat myself up for not doing as well as I would want to in school and stuff, and I had to realize, like, your worth is not found in your school grades. Your worth is not found in how much money you are making or not making, because your worth is intrinsic. Yeah, like why was I looking for my worth in school and in grades and in money and all of that stuff? Like it was a wake-up call for me, because I was like, why am I looking for my worth in all of these other things that God hasn't said my worth is built in, you know? I'm just gonna do a wing with this eyeliner, the one I always use. I just used the Porefessional concealer primer. Sorry, not concealer. I'm just using this foundation. Okay guys, so the last thing that I learned in 2020, I think that lots of people learned this as well. God is truly my anchor. And I know you guys are gonna be like, oh, but we already knew that and all of that. But then, no, like the way that 2020 went, it was like the whole world was able to understand that we need more than just ourselves, because we are not enough on our own. And I personally learned that I am nothing without God, like absolutely nothing. You can have everything in the world, but it still will not suffice. Like it's the bitter truth, but I don't know if it's that bitter, because I can't lie, life with God is phenomenal. But yeah, just the way that I was able to find so much hope, and you know, when everything was in chaos and in shambles, God was my anchor and is my anchor. Like when there was so much uncertainty, to be honest, there still is uncertainty, which is why I think this is fitting for a mistakes not to make in 2021 kind of video. So this is still very much valid. You guys, I always have this problem where like I would do get ready with me's, and I will like run out of my points by the time like I'm still not done with my makeup. So I always have this like time lag where I just have to, you know, just start looking around. Okay guys, I'm just gonna set my eyes with this. You guys already know the drill. Okay, I never do this to under my eyes. I don't know why I've done it this way today. Okay guys, so I'm going to finish my lips and blusher and everything off camera, and then I will be back. Okay guys, so yeah, that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I really hope you guys took away a few things from today's video. I'm really grateful that you stayed till the end of this video, and I hope you stick around for more. Have a great day, and I'll catch you guys soon.